Welcome to Riding Along. Today's episode is about don't be embarrassed about the books you enjoy, the books you've really liked in your life, the kinds that really inspire that reaction where you're like, "Whoa, this is a work of beauty," or like, "This is just entertaining. I really, really enjoyed this." A lot of people do need to hear this because your favorite book might not be in the top 10 literary essentials. It might be in whatever the opposite of that theoretically would be. You might think your book choice is a cliche, or a lot of people like that book, or a lot of people dislike it, but I like it. Um, as a writer and as a person in general, don't be ashamed of the books that you like. Don't be embarrassed by them. Don't even think they're cliche, because if you find someone's writing, if you find someone's words who really speak to you, connect with you, and create those reactions within you that say, "Hey, this is valuable. This is something. Wow, this is real." Treasure that. That is one of the rarest things in this life, to find something, to find someone or some element, some beacon of light, of understanding, of inspiration, of anything in your life. It doesn't come around every day. So if you think like, "Oh, well, I like it, but I don't know if I should. Is this a good book? I enjoyed it, but is it good?" That question is it's not just redundant. It's contradictory. It's not one you really need to ask. And it becomes important because you might be tempted to do this when there's so much pressure in a literary sphere and just life in general. Of a list, it's a world of top tens, isn't it? Of things that you're supposed to like, of things that you're supposed to follow. And if you don't, you're ignorant. I would title it too, "Don't be ashamed of the books you hate," but I don't like talking about. I think hate essentially is wasted energy most of the time, not just in the spiritual sense, but in the real sense. You could use that energy to motivate you to write or to watch a video that's going to build you up. You don't want to take that, like, that emotion is fuel in a sense. So. But if there are books you don't like, I'm not saying I hate, like, actively spend every waking day making lists of why you really dislike this writer, of why you really dislike that. I'm not saying that, but if you didn't like something, be honest with yourself. Don't force yourself. I had heard something like this, but I was made aware recently about it. There's an interview or a review of this famous writer, and it says, "You are not supposed to be entertained by this writer. You don't read them to be entertained. You read them because..." What? Like, what are you subjecting yourself to if you're reading a book that you don't even really like? That it's not a good use of your time. The word entertained isn't entertainment. Look up the root word if you want. It's not just idle use of your time, or it's not just nothingness. It's something very key. It's something critical to being a person, to living your life, to getting through the days, getting through the year. Your entire life it doesn't revolve around entertainment, but it's a component that you can't go without acknowledging in the forms that you enjoy, the forms that you consume will keep you living. Do you have a favorite song? Do you have a favorite album, group, a movie, television show, book? You don't have to like all of it. Radio show? Is there a radio show? There's something you like. I'm hard pressed to find somebody who doesn't like anything, even if it's just one thing in some obscure time period. Proves not just my point. It just exemplifies the fact that you should acknowledge the things that you enjoy. And books are a big part of that. And the things you don't enjoy, you don't have to waste your time with them. You don't have to force yourself to like something, because guess what? Maybe it's still in the back of your head, like, am I supposed to like this? Am I supposed to understand this? People are saying I should, but I'm not feeling it. I feel nothing when I read it. Your senses change. Right? You lose your hearing the older you get. Metaphorically and also in the literal sense, biologically, it's not the same. Your vision, you don't start out your life with this awful prescription, and then year by year, you get 20/20 by year when you're 80 years old, but when you're 50, you were blind. No, that doesn't happen. So everything changes, and not always for the worse. That kind of losing your hearing, maybe it means you have to pay attention a little more, or you filter out what you actually listen to. And with that comes a lot more responsibility. Maybe you can't see as well. Maybe you gotta, I don't know, wear contacts, wear glasses. It seems trivial, but this isn't, all right? There's intentionality that comes with it. Your taste buds, maybe there's a food. David, why are you talking about food on a writing channel? If you can't keep along with all of these things, you may be missing the point, which is that writing isn't detached from your life. It's interconnected with everything else that makes you human. So what you enjoy is going to change throughout the years. And I have a video on this, or if you're listening to the podcast, if you're not, check it out. It's on Apple Podcasts. It's everywhere. The books you enjoy are going to change. 15 years from now, or maybe 15 years ago, you really enjoyed this book, and it's not the same anymore. I'm not saying you'll hate it, but you'll pick it up, and it's not what you wanted it to be. It's not that first time you read it experience anymore, or it just means something different. And that's exactly what I'm trying to emphasize here. You're living on a non-fixed plane, not an airplane, a plane of time. You're moving. It's a fluid motion. My hand is moving across the screen. The video is not just paused. Or if you're just listening, my voice isn't just this one sound. I'm hitting a key on a keyboard, and it's just this one note. It's multiple things, and it's across a span of minutes. You can divide up time like that, or you can choose to perceive it as just this fluid motion. And find that with reading, with enjoying things, you're enjoying it in that specific divisible point of time. And maybe someday in the future you will like that book that you don't like right now. The point is that's not relevant. What are you enjoying? What are you reading right now? Let me know in the comments. What books are you reading? What books do you want to read? What books do you feel like you have to read? It's a lot of questions. Answer them all. Guess what? It's rare to find someone who cares about what you have to say, but I care about what you have to say. Let me know. I could talk about books my whole life. I could talk about writing my whole life. That's running along, right? So, again, don't fear that your favorite book is a cliche or something. Don't fear that others might not respect it or something. It doesn't matter. It changes, just like yourself, just like your physical appearance will. You're all subjected. I'm subjected to age. What you see in the mirror changes. I heard this one time. Someone was describing age to me, and they said, I looked in the mirror, and I screamed. What happened? What happened to me? I'm old. And that was age. That's what it's like. That's what everything else is going to be like. With writing, with books, I enjoy this right now. Enjoy it in the moment. And you'll find that beneath cliches is beyond just, there's a little bit of truth in every cliche. That in itself is one. Beyond that, in cliches, there is not just a fixed piece of knowledge applicable to one era of your life, of civilization. Within it is everything. Within it is a connection, an interrelation, integral web of cohesiveness. And your comprehension is doing a great job to put it all together. After all, you're probably going to sleep tonight, or if you're an insomniac, you won't, but you're going to wake up the next day and there's a continuity. But your brain understands, oh, cool, it's another day. There was a yesterday and there was a before that, and there's going to be a tomorrow. A lot of the hard stuff like that, your brain figures out for you. But the stuff that you do need sometimes, a little acknowledgement, is something like just another person telling you, straight up, enjoy what you're enjoying right now. And guess what? It's going to inspire you, actually, as a writer. This is a writing channel. And a lot of you are out there right now are writers. You just don't realize it yet. You might have postponed it. You might have put it off. Or, like, I'm not a writer. It's not me. But a lot of you are. That's why you're still here. And with that, again, just comes books you enjoy are going to inspire you. Directly, indirectly. What you experience is going to be something you want to recreate. Because it's addicting. After all, you're opening the page again. You keep opening those books. What's in there? Eventually, after enjoying it so much, after experiencing it so much, you're going to want to create that too. What's it like? How did they do that? How do I get in on that? How do I do that myself? And writing's the avenue that lets you do that. If you want to write a book, check out How to Write a Book in 30 Days at writingalong.com. It's a completely free guide. Definitive, meaning it's going to push you in the right direction. There's a lot of stuff out there not putting you in the right direction. It doesn't have your best intentions in mind. But I want to see that writer in you that you know is there really come to fruition. No, this isn't just right. You got everything you need here. I got plenty of videos on this channel. There's even more coming. So thanks for stopping by. Great writing resource that it's gonna set you in the right place. It's gonna put you where you need to be and give you that little push. Give you that little reminder now and then of why you're doing it, of why you're there, of why you're sitting in front of a blank page, or why you're going it. And right now after this video, challenge you. Write one sentence. Not a paragraph, not a novel. Write one sentence. On your notes, on a napkin, wherever you want. Why? Find out. What's that sentence that you're going to write? What is it telling you? What is it reflecting back at you? What you write is going to say where you're at in your head right now. Are you going to want to write more after that? If I told you everyone to write a novel right now, most people aren't going to do it. No one's going to do it. Do one person. Maybe. If you write a sentence, you're going to find out I can't say everything I need to say in that one sentence. There's more in my head. There's more I can say. It's exactly the point. I'll see you around in the next episode. Thanks for stopping by today.